Matovu Ohalega Yaakov Mishkenaseka Yisrael Va'ani berov hasadeka Avo ve'aseka Eshtikave El Helcha Kachika Meir Oseka Adonai Ohavti Me'on Beseka Kamishkan Kevodeka Va'ani Eshteka Ve'ekra Ever call Lifnei Adonai Asi Va'ani Safila Silek Adonai Esrason Elohim Berov Hasadeka Ani Beyemes Yisheka Adon Olam Asher Melech B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nevro. At the time when his will brought on to being, then as king was his name proclaimed. After all ceased to be, he, the awesome one, to reign alone. It is he who was, is he who is he who shall remain in splendor. He is one, there is no second to compare to him, to declares his equal. Without beginning, without end, his is the power and the dominion. He is my Elohim, my living Redeemer, rock my pain in time of distress. He is my banner of refuge for me, the portion of my cup on the day that I call. Into his hand I shall entrust my spirit. When I go to sleep I shall awaken. With my spirit shall my body remain. Adonai is with me, I shall not fear. Exalted be the living Elohim and praised. He exists unbound by time in his existence. He is one and there is no unity like his oneness. Inscrutable and infinite is his oneness. He has no semblance of a body, nor is he corporeal, nor has his wholeness any comparison. He preceded every being that was created. The first and nothing precedes his precedence. Behold, he is Adon Olam to every creature. He demonstrates his greatness and his sovereignty. He grants his flow of prophecy to his treasure splendorous people. In Israel, none like Moshe rose again, a prophet who perceived his vision clearly. Elohim gave his people a Torah of truth by means of his prophet, the most trusted of his household. Elohim will never amend nor exchange his law for all eternity for any other one. He scrutinizes and knows our hiddenmost secrets. He perceives a matter's outcome at its inception. He recompenses man with kindness according to his deeds. He places evil on the wicked according to his wickedness. By the end of days, he will send our Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach ben David, all the day to redeem those longing for his final salvation. Elohim will revive the dead in his abundant kindness. Blessed forever is his praised name. Blessed are you, Adonai, our Elohim, King of the universe, who fashioned man with wisdom, created within him many openings, many cavities. It is obvious and known before your throne of glory that if one of them were to be ruptured or one of them were to be blocked, it would be impossible to survive, to stand before you. And blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh and acts wondrously. Blessed are you, Adonai, our Elohim, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and commanded us to engross ourselves in the words of Torah. Please, Adonai Eloheinu, sweeten the words of your Torah in the mouth of your people in the house of Israel. May we and your offspring, the offspring of your people, the house of Israel, all of us know your name and study your Torah for its own sake. And blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to his people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher b'char b'anu mechal ha'amin, v'nasan lanu ha'toraso. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Yevarechecha Adonai v'shmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'hanecha, Yisar Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. These are the precepts that have no prescribed measure, the corn of a field which must be left for the poor, the first fruit offering, the pilgrimage, acts of Hesed, and Torah study. These are the precepts whose fruits and person enjoys in this world, but whose principle remains intact for him in the world to come. They are the honor due father and mother. Acts of Hesed, early attendance at the house of study, morning and evening, hospitality to guests, visiting the sick, providing for a bride, escorting the dead, absorption in prayer, bringing peace between man and his fellow, and the stud of titles equivalent to them all. Elachai, the soul that you place within me is pure. You created it and you fashioned it, and you breathed it into me. You safeguard it within me, and eventually you take it from me and restore it to me in the time to come. As long as the soul is within me, I gratefully thank you, Adonai Elachai, Velahei Avasai. Master of all works, Adonai of all souls. Blessed are you, Adonai, who restores souls to dead bodies. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who gave the heart understanding to distinguish between day and night. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, for not having made me a slave. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, for not having made me a woman. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who gives sight to the blind. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who clothes the naked. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who releases the bound. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who straightens the bend. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who spreads out the earth upon the waters. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who provides me my every need. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who firms man's footsteps. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who girds Israel with strength. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who gives strength to the weary. Blessed are you, Adonai or Elohim, King of the universe, who removes sleep from my eyes and slumber from my eyelids. May it be your will, Adonai Eloheinu, Velahei Avasenu, that you accustom us to study your Torah and attach us to your commandments, and that you do not bring us into the power of error, nor into the power of transgression and sin, nor into the power of challenge, nor into the power of scorn. Let not the evil inclination dominate us, and distance us from an evil person and an evil companion. Attach us to good inclination and to good deeds, and compel our evil inclination to be subservient to you. Grant us today and every day grace, kindness, and mercy, in your eyes and in the eyes of all who see us, and bestow the beneficial kindness upon us. Blessed are you, Adonai, who bestows beneficial kindness upon his people Israel. May it be your will, Adonai Eloheinu Velahei Avasai, that you rescue me today and every day from brazen men, from brazenness, from an evil man, from an evil companion, from an evil neighbor, from an evil mishap, from destructive spiritual impediment, from harsh trial, from a harsh opponent, whether he's a member of the covenant or whether he's not a member of the covenant. The Akedah. Eloheinu Velahei Avasenu, remember us with a favorable memory before you, and recall us with a recollection of salvation and mercy, from the primeval loftiest heavens. Remember on our behalf, Adonai Eloheinu, the love of the patriarchs Abraham, Yitzhak, and Israel, your servants, the covenant and the kindness, and the oath that you swore to our forefathers Abraham at Har Moriah, at the Akedah, when he bound his son Yitzhak atop of the altar, as is written in your Torah. And it happened after these things that Elohim tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham. And he replied, Hineni. And he said, Please take your son, your only one, whom you love, Yitzhak, and get yourself to Eretz HaMoriah. Bring him up there as an offering upon one of the mountains which I shall indicate to you. So Abraham awoke early in the morning, and he saddled his donkey. He took his 2 young men with him, and Yitzhak his son. He split the wood for the offering, and rose and went toward the place which Elohim indicated to him. On the 3rd day Abraham looked up and perceived the place from afar. Abraham said to his young men, Stay here by yourselves with the donkey, while I and the lad will go yonder. We will prostrate ourselves, and we will return to you. Abraham took the wood for the offering, placed it on Yitzhak his son. He took in his hand the fire and the knife, and the 2 of them went together. Then Yitzhak spoke to Abraham his father and said, Avi. He said, Hineni vini. He said, Here are the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb for the offering? Abraham said, Elohim will seek out for himself the lamb for the offering, my son. And the 2 of them went together. They arrived at the place which Elohim indicated to him. Abraham built the altar there and arranged the wood. He bound Yitzhak his son, and he placed him on the altar, atop of the wood. Abraham stretched out his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son. Then Memtet, an angel of Adonai, called to him from heaven, saying, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Hineni. Memtet said, Do not stretch out your hand against the lad, and do not do anything to him. For now I know that you are a God-fearing man, since you have not withheld your son, your only one, from me. Abraham raised his eyes and saw, behold, a ram, afterwards caught in the thicket by its horns. So Abraham went and took the ram, and brought it as an offering instead of his son. And Abraham named that site Adonai Yireh, as is said this day, on the mountain Adonai will be seen. Then Memtet called to Abraham a second time from heaven and said, By myself I swear, declared Adonai, that since you have done this thing and have not withheld your son, your only one, I shall surely bless you, and greatly increase your offspring, like the stars of the heavens, like the sands of the seashore. And your offspring shall inherit the gate of its enemy. All the nations of the earth shall bless themselves by your offspring, because you have listened to my voice. Abraham returned to his young men, and they rose and went together to Beersheba, and Abraham stayed at Beersheba. Rabbano Shel Olam, may it be your will, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Abbaseinu, that you remember for our sake the covenant of our forefathers. Just as Abraham our forefather suppressed his mercy for his only son and was willing to slaughter him in order to do your will, so may your mercy suppress your anger from upon us. And may your mercy overwhelm your attributes. May you ever step with us the line of your law, and deal with us, Adonai Eloheinu, with the attribute of kindness and with the attribute of mercy. In your great goodness, may you turn aside your burning wrath, and from your people, your city, your land, and your heritage. Fulfill for us, Adonai Eloheinu, the words you pledged through Moshe your servant, as it is said, I shall remember my covenant with Yaakov, and also my covenant with Yitzchak, and also my covenant with Abraham shall I remember, and the land shall I remember. Always let a person be Elohim fearing, privately and publicly acknowledge the truth. Speak the truth within his heart, and rise early and proclaim. Master of all worlds, not in the merit of our righteousness do we cast our supplications before you, but in the merit of your abundant mercies. What are we? What is our life? What is our kindness? What is our righteousness? What is our salvation? What is our strength? What is our might? What can we say before you, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Abbaseinu? Are not all the mighty like nothing before you? The renowned as if they had never existed, the wise as if devoid of wisdom, the perceptive as if devoid of intelligence. For most of their deeds are desolate, and the days of their lives are empty before you. The preeminence over man and over beast is non-existent. For all is in vain, but we are your people, members of your covenant, children of Abraham your beloved, to whom you took an oath at Har Moriah. The offspring of Yitzchak his only son, who was bound atop of the altar, the community of Yaakov, your firstborn son, whom because of the love with which you adored him, and the joy with which you delighted in him, you named him Israel and Jeshurun. Therefore we are obliged to thank you, praise you, glorify you, bless, sanctify, and offer praise and thanks to your name. We are fortunate, how good is our portion, how pleasant our lot, how beautiful our heritage. We are fortunate, for we come early and stay late, evening and morning, and proclaim twice each day. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. It was you before this world was created, it is you since this world was created, it is you in this world, and it is you in this world to come. Sanctify your name to those who sanctify your name, and sanctify your name in your universe. Through your salvation may you exalt and raise our pride. Blessed are you, Adonai, who sanctifies your name among the multitudes. It is you who are Adonai our Elohim, in the heavens and on the earth, and in loftiest heavens. True, you are the first, and you are the last, and other than you there is no Elohim. Gather in those who place their hope in you from the four corners of the earth. Let all who walk the earth recognize and know that you alone are Elohim. Over all the kingdoms of the earth, you have made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. Who among all your handiwork, those above and those below, can say to you, what are you doing? Avinu Sheba Shemayim, do kindness with us, for the sake of your great name that has been proclaimed upon us. Fulfill for us, Adonai Eloheinu, what is written. At that time I will bring you, and at that time I will gather you in. For I will set you up for renown and for praise among all the peoples of the earth. When I bring back your captivity before your own eyes, says Adonai. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, make a laver of copper and its base of copper for washing, and place it between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water there. Aharon and his sons are to wash from it, their hands and their feet. When they arrive at the tent of meeting, they are to wash with water, so that they die not. Or when they approach the altar to serve, to burn a fire offering to Adonai, they are to wash their hands and their feet, so that they die not. And this shall be an eternal decree for them, for him and for his offspring throughout the generations. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, instruct Aharon your son, saying, this is the teaching of the elevation offering. is the elevation offering that stays on the fire on the altar all night until morning. And the fire on the altar should be kept burning on it. The Kohen should don his linen garment. He is to don linen breeches upon his flesh, and he is to pick up the ashes of what the fire consumed of the elevation offering upon the altar, and place it next to the altar. Then he should remove his garments and don other garments. Then he should remove the ashes to the outside of the camp, to a pure place. The fire on the altar should be kept burning on it, and may not be extinguished. And the Kohen shall burn wood upon it every morning. He is to prepare the elevation offering upon it, and burn upon it the fats of the peace offering. A permanent fire should remain burning on the altar, and may not be extinguished. May it be your will, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei Avosenu, that you have mercy upon us, and pardon us for all of our errors, atone for all of our iniquities, and forgive all of our willful sins, and that you rebuild the Beis HaMikdash speedily in our days, so that we may offer to you the continual offering, that it may atone for us, as you prescribed for us in your Torah, through Moshe your servant, from your glorious mouth, as it is said. Adonai spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel and tell them, my offering, my food from my fires, my satisfying aroma. You are to be scrupulous to offer me in its appointed time. And you are to tell them, this is the fire offering that you are to bring to Adonai, first your lambs, unblemished, 2 a day, as a continual elevation offering. 1 lamb service you are to perform in the morning, and the 2nd lamb service you are to perform in the afternoon, with the 1/10 ephah of fine flour for a meal offering, mixed with a 1/4 hin of crushed olive oil. It is a continual elevation offering that was done at Har Sinai, for a satisfying aroma, a fire offering to Adonai. And its libation is a 1/4 hin for each lamb, to be poured on the holy altar for a main libation to Adonai. And the 2nd lamb service you to perform in the afternoon, like the meal offering of the morning, and its libation are you to make, a fire offering for a satisfying aroma to Adonai. He is to slaughter it on the north side of the altar before Adonai. And Aharon's sons of Kohanim are to dash his blood upon the altar all around. May it be your will, Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei Avosenu, that this recital be worthy and acceptable and favorable before you, as if we had offered the continual offering in its set time, in its place, according to its requirements. It is you, Adonai Eloheinu, before whom our forefathers burned the incense spices, in the time when the Beis HaMikdash stood, as you commanded them to Moshe your servant, as is written in your Torah. Adonai said to Moshe, Take yourself spices, stacked, onycha, galbanum, spices and pure frankincense. They shall all be of equal weight. And you shall make it into an incense, a spice compound, the handiwork of an expert spice compounder, thoroughly mixed, pure and holy. You shall grind some of it finely and place some of it before the testimony in the tent of meeting, where I shall designate a time to meet you. It shall be of holy of holies for you. It is also written, Aharon shall burn upon it the incense spices every morning. When he cleans the lamps, he is to burn it. And when Aharon ignites the lamps in the afternoon, he is to burn it, as a continual incense before Adonai throughout your generations. Tano Rabbanan, how is the incense mixture formulated? 368 maneh were in it. 365 corresponding to the days of the solar year, a maneh for each day, half in the morning and half in the afternoon, and 3 extra maneh, from which a Kohen Gadol would bring both his handfuls on Yom Kippur. He would return them to the mortar on the day before Yom Kippur and grind them very thoroughly, so that it would be exceptionally fine. 11 kinds of spices were as follows: stacked, onycha, galbanum, frankincense, each weighing 70 maneh. Myrrh, cassia, spikenard, and saffron, each weighing 16 maneh. Costus 12, aromatic bark 3, cinnamon 9. Karshina la 9 kav. Cypress wine 3 se'an 3 kav. If he has no cypress wine, he is to bring old white wine. Sodom salt 1/4 kav, and a manut amount of alei ashan. Rabbi Nassan Habavli Omer, also a minute amount of Jordan amber. If he placed fruit honey into it, he invalidated it. But if he left out any one of its spices, he is liable to the death penalty. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, the stack that simply sap drips from the balsam trees. Why is Karshina Lai used? To bleach the onycha, to make it pleasing. Why is cypress wine used? So that the onycha could be soaked in it, to make it pungent. Even though May Regalim is more suitable for that, nevertheless they do not bring May Regalim into the temple out of respect. Tanya Rabbi Nassan Omer, as one would grind, another would say, grind thoroughly, thoroughly grind, because the sound is beneficial